Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start it off by adding chemical into the gallon. When you purchased your item, it should have came with a small bottle with a 500 milliliter marker on top. 500 milliliters is slightly above 16 ounces, which is fine, because for every gallon of water you want to use 8 ounces of product. We're going to make 2 gallons worth of product. So you get the product through Ecolab. That's the product you want to purchase. That's the product that's recommended. You go ahead and open this up and fill it to the 500 millimeter mark. Once that's filled up, you'll go ahead and open this up and dump the chemical in. When you dump the chemical in, you'll go ahead and take that over to a faucet or a hose, whatever you have accessible, and fill it up till the very top. Actually, that's going to be your 2 gallon mark. It's marked as 1.5 up to this point. When you take it up to the point where it can't be filled anymore, that is 2 gallons. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your gallon or your container full of chemical, and you're going to put it back onto the machine itself. You'll also see these 2 straps that lock in onto these black pieces here. The final result looks like that. So all it does is hold the container in place. You also need to connect the hose all the way on top. It just snaps in. Now to remove it, all you're going to do is press that little button in and pull up, and then you can remove it. To put it on, you just press down till it snaps, and that should be good. From there, you take it to where you need and follow the other videos. Oh wait, before I forget, make sure you put your mister back in. This should be put away or just not left in when you store it. So it just slides in and turns. To remove it, you're going to turn it and pull out. So once your machine's actually loaded and set up to go, you choose your designated area in which you're going to treat. We're just going to do a small area for the demonstration. You're going to go over your area and look for any particular stains that really stand out and pre-treat those. So there's a stain right there. We're going to go ahead and pre-treat. So the item we're using to pre-treat is the Ecolab Miracle Spotter. We just put it on the back side and one of those straps there. It just sits in. So we go ahead and we spot. And we look for other ones. Again, this is just for intermediate cleaning. It's not supposed to be a heavy stain cleaner. So that's why you want to pre-treat the spots if they are bad. So once your machine's plugged in, you'll notice 2 buttons on the front, a green and red. The green starts it, the red stops it. You'll notice 2 buttons also on the inside. Both are to work the pump sprayer. You could use either or. Using both at the same time does not affect the amount of chemical that comes out. And then there's the switch that allows you to move the handles back like a vacuum. So you're going to start by moving the handles back. You're going to turn the green button on. Okay, now that your machine's on, you only release chemical while going forward. So he's pressing down the blue button now. And when you come back, you let go of the blue button. You let it work itself in. You do not apply chemical on the backstroke. When you do your second line, you slightly overlap the line that you just did, applying chemical on the front stroke and not on the back. Okay, kill it. Okay, after this dries, you want to make sure that no one walks in it for about 20 minutes until it's dry to the touch. Then you could allow people to open it back up for traffic. After it's completely dry, which maybe takes about an hour or hour and a half, then you can go back and vacuum. We usually just wait maybe 8 hours, so we usually wait a day. I'll come back in the morning and vacuum it up tomorrow. This is going to be the cleaning process. So what you're going to do is when it's in the upright position, you're going to disconnect your hoses first. You're going to undo it here, and that just pulls down. Since that's disconnected as well, you're going to go ahead and remove the canister. Now most of the time you shouldn't have extra chemical left over. Today we did. We actually overestimated what we needed. So now that it's disconnected, everything's out. You're going to go ahead and lean the machine back and just lay it on its side. You have 2 brushes that need to be cleaned, and the inside needs to be wiped down as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over to this side. You'll see a little metal tab. You'll go ahead and press that tab in. When you press that tab in, you should be able to pull the actual roller out. Okay? And if you notice it's on the opposite side, the metal tab, you'll pull that tab in, pull the roller out, and these go to be washed in the sink. In the meantime, while someone's washing those in the sink, you'll take a rag, which you've already got. You can use a damp. It's recommended to use a damp rag. Right now we have a dry just for now, just to show you what's going on. You're going to go ahead and wipe everything down, but first we need to remove the middle as well. So to remove the middle, at this part here, this just slides out. So if you actually just grab it and pull, it will just slide out for you. You'll notice that all needs to be cleaned out. That's just, since it's the first time we've had it and used it, it's just small pieces of carpet fabric. You're going to go ahead and wipe the housing down. Once you wipe the housing down, as so, you want to try to get as much of that out as possible. Repeat the process on the other roller. And we usually just rinse this piece off underneath the sink. When we get everything cleaned off, we'll show you how everything goes back together. Okay, so now that we cleaned everything up, we put it in the water, rinse it down, get the good majority of the hairs out. Before we put everything back together, you'll notice this yellow bristle. This yellow bristle is recessed. It's, for lack of a better term, it's an indicator bristle. When the rest of the bristles are that height, it's time to change out your brush. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and put everything back together into the machine. So we are going to go ahead and start with the middle piece. It slides right in, just line it up. Pretty self-explanatory, slides right in. The next item you're going to put in is the brushes. So you'll see on the end of the brush there is that little inlet that hooks up to that side there. So if you would do the honors, you're going to go ahead and put this inlet side in first. You're going to line it up with everything. There you go. So again, with that piece lined up, I usually make sure the metal's pointed at me when I plug it in, because it'll make it easier to insert. So you'll come back, just put it in, make sure the tab's pushed out, and it just kind of goes in. You may have to use a little bit of force, but nothing excessive. After everything's together, you need to make sure that the machine goes back onto the plastic platform it came with, because if not, it's going to sit on the bristles, and the bristles will go flat. Now that that's done, we'll put that back on the platform, and we're going to go ahead and flush this out. We're going to do that by opening this up, dumping the chemical down the sink, and we just run water into it. We run water into it, we dump it out, we put water back in, and then after we've dumped it out and put water back in, we'll leave maybe about 1 inch of water. And the reason for that is we're also going to flush the line on the machine itself, so we'll show you that as well. Okay, so we have it back on its base. I left a little bit of water in there so we can flush out the hose itself. We're just going to connect everything back up. It's real simple. The cable goes on top, connects to the top, it locks in. We've already plugged it in, and we're just going to feed it through. So you will have to press the blue button, which is the feeders on that side there. I put a piece of cardboard here so it doesn't spray everywhere, so if you would do the honors. And all you're doing is flushing out all the chemical. You don't want that to build up in there. After you ran it, or after you look at the water, you don't see it getting soapy anymore, it's safe to assume that all the chemical has been flushed out. And then you're going to go ahead and let it run for about 10 more seconds.